Welcome back to Aurelius Whitlock's Murder Museum. I'm Marcus Richardson.
And I'm Nathan Hicken.
The murder mystery is on an airship. What a delight. It is steampunk. There are ghosts. There's an automaton. And where did we last leave off? So just as a reminder, the deceased was in the cargo hold is Harley, now a ghost. And this airship is full of an eclectic cast of characters. We have Cyan Evans, daughter of a mining magnate, Captain Edgeware, who pilots the Moonshine Express, Mooney, who is the porter, recently lost an election. That's exactly how I recapped him last time, but it's still true. It's a sore point.
Still stings.
Still stings. Madam Christie, who is a fraud, unlike me, who is absolutely legit, because I am Dr. Grace Quinn, a woman. Did not realize that. What a detective I am. And then Colonel Hastings, who I just confronted about the fact that his snake was missing, which hindsight's 20/20, but the latch was undone when I saw that snake. So, could it be my fault that the snake got loose? Yes, possibly. I could have closed this, but I did not. Well, I just heard a scream in the dining car that sort of derails what else I wanted to do, which was interview the parrot Sheila about if she saw anything in the cargo hold. I'm going to run to the dining car.
Okay, so Colonel Hastings follows you as he might have had a premonition after your brief conversation. You see the door to the deck actually open, and Madam Christie is screaming her head off, shaking her leg because there's a cobra wrapped around it.
Around her leg?
Mm-hmm. So Raymond pushes past you, and he tackles Madam Christie very elegantly to the ground and it seems to be trying to disentangle Cobra from Medium. It is chaos.
It's pandemonium.
It's pandemonium. Someone flips a table.
Can that be your catchphrase, please, Nathan?
It's chaos. It's pandemonium. Oh, I like it. I always find a way to use it, considering the last few exhibits.
Okay. I mean, when all you got is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Can I flip open this compass and see if I can help?
Okay, you flip open the compass. Okay, so
Nathan rolled a die, and this is not a game where we roll dice. I want this to be on the record. We don't do that without permission. I'm just joking. What happens? Take me away, storyteller.
So, you pause time. The cobra is now disentangled from Madam Christie, but is wrapped partially around Colonel Hastings. You are free to do what you want. It's not fully around it, so you could essentially, you could get a grip on it. I don't know what you want to do, but
if it's mostly around Colonel Hastings now, then the peril has passed. I'm going to close the compass. I thought that I was going to help the madam, but close.
Okay. Colonel Hastings lets out a very guttural, manly scream, but it's actually very high-pitched, and he's not very ashamed about it. But as he flings the cobra off, it goes sailing over the railing of the deck.
Okay, wait. Open the compass one last time. Want to try to grab that snake after he throws it?
Okay.
Is it like wiggly when time is frozen? Or is it like stiff like a rod?
You grab it and it's...
Nathan, trying to think of how to describe something he did not anticipate me doing.
It starts wriggling, but it is definitely more sluggish. So it's starting to turn its head towards you.
Do I want to put it back in the I could put it back in the chest, or I could use this to kill someone else. Is there anything in its mouth?
Fangs.
I let it go.
If you love it, let it go.
Pause.
Okay.
I mean, unpause.
Okay. A note. As you're letting it go, a redness starts to seep in at the edge of your vision.
Yeah.
There's a slight crackling sound in your ears, but you close the compass and it fades away.
Okay. Well, that's probably enough hammer time. Probably enough using my one parlor trick. Okay. This is a moment of crisis.
Okay.
Is it just those two, or is there other people out here?
They're on the ground. The captain rushes in as well, looking shocked and super worried because you just heard more screams. Colonel and Madam Christie are both groaning on the ground. Colonel tries to get your attention. He's saying something through his clenched teeth.
I get in close. What's up?
He's saying, "Venom, anti-venom, in my room." He's clutching at his arm. There are 2 snake bites, little puncture wounds on his arm, and there are similar puncture wounds on Madam Christie's leg.
Oh my!
Now, through the pain, Colonel Raymond manages to convey across that he needs the anti-venom. It's in his room. You have minutes before the venom sets in and the anti-venom cannot help anymore.
I run to the hallway with doors.
Okay.
They're not labeled, you said.
They are not labeled. 3 on one side, 3 on the other. You know which one is your room. Yours is the middle on the right side.
Okay. Let's do middle left side.
First go, you open the door.
Is it locked?
It is locked.
I have a key.
Okay. You fit the key in. It seems to be a master key, and it opens the door. So, inside, you are first hit with that familiar, now Colonel smell, which is just lovely. It smells a little bit like grain, a little bit musty, not super pleasant. But there is, again, the bed, a little table drawer thing. There is a trunk under the bed, and yeah.
Trunk under the bed. I dart for that.
You open it up, and you are greeted with the lovely sight of a jar of dead rats, some seeds, a little scrap of paper, and then 5 bottles. One of these, you're certain, is anti-venom. Which one? Well, you'll have to find out. Sending you something now.
No, I don't. Colonel can tell me. I guess he's not very coherent right now,
Colonel
is he?
is in a state beyond cohesiveness at this moment. You are at 2 minutes.
I have 2 minutes left.
You just hit 2 minutes.
I hit 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm. You could take a moment to describe what you're seeing.
In this case, property of Raymond Hastings, there's a green bottle with fluoride, valerian, ethanol, rubidium, evening primrose. A yellow one that has selenium, iodine, dandelion, pantothenic acid, eucalyptus oil, and riboflavin. We have a purple one with arsenic, sodium, niacin, kaolin, and echinacea. Dear gosh,
Boom.
Nathan. Oh, man. And then there's a blue one with folate, ube, and lithium.
Your favorite cure.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna open my pocket watch again. I mean compass.
Okay.
Compass. I'm gonna flip open Pocket Watson as well. Is he he's frozen though, isn't he?
Pocket Watson is frozen.
And I can't ask the ghost for help either. Okay. Well, I'm gonna grab all of these and run out to the deck where the 2 of them are.
Okay.
I also am gonna grab that paper.
Okay.
I'm gonna run out to deck, and then I'm gonna unpause time.
Okay.
On deck with these 4 bottles, and is Hastings like just completely beyond, like you said?
He's saying, it's written on it. It's written on it.
Okay, I open up the roll of paper. Is it related?
Ah, the roll of paper. You find what seems to be a love letter. My dearest shade of glorious blue, all day long I think of you. It goes on for a very long time, and at the bottom it says, signed your secret admirer. You just found a love letter.
Glorious shade of blue? Like this potion?
It does not seem related to the potions.
I hate this. Okay, all right. It's go time. So the green one, fluoride, all those things, it looks like the first letters are capitalized, and looks like if you rearrange them, you get fever. Okay, and anti-venom. I'm looking for the letter V then, right? Let's see. S-I-D-P-E. Spider. Okay. Oh, so I'm looking for snake. It's purple. I take the purple, and I am going to just make them glug that down.
Ding, 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 ding. Okay, as you, with a minute and 20 seconds left, you administer the antivenin, and they stop shaking and slowly return to consciousness. Pale, but alive.
What I hate about this scenario is you would have let them die because I did do that to you.
I killed one robot. How about 2 humans?
2 humans. How do you feel about that? And guess who let the snake out? It was you. I've solved your puzzle.
Well, that was more exciting than a badger at a poker party. Whew!
Yet again, Harley, you don't need to compare incredulous situations to other incredulous situations. I would say that was about as exciting as 2 people dying of venom on an airship.
Well, now that you say it, that is a good one. Let me write that down. He tries to pat his pockets well, I'll remember that.
Okay. Yeah, what's happening now?
Okay, so Captain focuses on Colonel Raymond and starts she tears off a length of her jacket and wraps it around his snake bite. Not sure that's very hygienic, but you let it happen. And they're brought into the dining car. Water drinks are produced from somewhere, and they're calmed down, but it's still shaken.
Oh boy! What do I do now? Completely derailed from any thread of logic. I think I will stick around long enough to make sure that they're recovering, and also get in a good "what were you thinking" at Hastings.
He's a little teary now. I don't know. I just wanted to expand our understanding of science and the natural world.
That's your first mistake. Science is unknowable. I slap him.
Captain Edgeware grabs your shoulder and is like, all right, that's enough. I think he's learned his lesson.
But what if his parrot gets free next and attacks other passengers? Where does
Sheila
it
wouldn't
stop?
learn to fly.
So you admit Sheila is yours?
You caught him. Red-handed.
Oh boy.
Snake bitten.
Snake bitten. All right. Well, with that situation apparently diffused, figured out, back to the cargo hold. Yet again.
Okay.
This time, instead of going to the snake, which is not there, oh my gosh, the cub could get out. Don't you dare! I check.
Lucky for you, the latch that was open is too small for the cub to get out that way. So the cub is still in there. But now that you've taken away its toy, it is looking a little more aggressive. But it is still contained.
Okay, I'm going to tie it closed with a bit of, I don't know, what do I have? Rope?
In your trunk, you had iron chain.
I did have iron chain. I could have used it from the beginning, but now I will use it, and I'll wrap up that little cub.
Okay, just tie it with a little chain bow, and that cub's not going anywhere.
Great. Over to the chest where there is a dead body over here. I would like to look at that clock and see if I can set it to 8:24.
You can set it to 8:24. As you set it to 8:24, there's a little click, and a little point comes out of the side of the clock, but it does not open.
A point, like directional point, like compass?
Just like a little spire. Sorry, a little spire just like shoots out.
Of the clock. Is this on the side of a crate?
On the side, yep. So clock face, and then like where the gears are, just a little like, it's like a little victory flag, like whoop.
Uh-huh. Can
Just pops
I grab it?
It's this little metal piece, doesn't do anything, but...
Does it wiggle back and forth?
Nope, but as you're looking at it, it looks like there are a couple of their slots for where a flag will fly up.
Oh, there's more than one time to input? Layers upon layers. Okay. Is the deck now free of people? No one's out there anymore?
Yep. Colonel Hastings is in his room. Madam Christie is still at her table, nursing her leg. Mooney is at the bar. Pilot, and you don't see the pilot, but you assume that she's in her room, or in the cockpit.
Okay. On deck, anything to see, to investigate out here?
Yes, the deck. It's a large wooden balcony. A large wooden patio with a high-waist balcony. There is a nice view of the forest below, but immediately to the left of the door, you see a little display that says "History of the Airship." There's a little tiny model of the airship with like a little cross section.
Oh, fun.
There's a framed newspaper with a giant headline, "The First Flight of the Moonshine Express." Next to it, there's a bookshelf with some books and a little bowl of crackers. And then...
Crackers, you say? Like the kind that a parrot would want?
Mayhaps. There's also another parachute in a separate display case, as well as the pneumatic air tube system flowing overhead.
Okay, is there a receptacle out here of where the pneumatic air tubes go?
There's not a receptacle, but you can see...
Is it easier to reach?
Some metal working bits that seem suspicious.
All right, cool. All right, there's a lot out here. First thing, I grabbed just a fistful of crackers, and I shoved that in my pocket.
Well, aren't we a bit hungry?
I'm getting a little peckish. I'm trying to solve your murder. And then I am curious. This is probably the first time I see what the airship looks like from like a side view. Does it look like a wooden like pirate ship but in the air?
It looks...
oh, no, it's a blimp. It's got a blimp top.
So, streamlined pirate ship base, but with a huge balloon on top. As you look at it, so you can see the cross-section. You see all the rooms. So, dining car, cockpit, all the way to the cargo hold, everything in between.
Can I learn a little bit about the history of this airship?
Yes. So, you look at the newspaper. So, below the headline, First Flight of the Moonshine Express, is a photo of a slightly younger Captain Edgware standing in front of a large airship that's docked on a clock tower.
A clock tower? What time is the clock tower?
Well, the time on the clock tower just happens to be 9:12.
Okay. A clock tower is where the first flight lifted off from?
Looks like it. Beyond that, just the model, you do learn one thing from the model. You notice that all the rooms that you know are there: the dining car, the cockpit, the sleeping car with the different cabins, and the cargo hold. But you also see that there is a hatch leading up to the inside of the hole, which contains the balloon.
Where is the hatch located?
There are 2 hatches, one in the cargo hold and one in the cockpit in the ceiling.
Interesting. Okay, any other interesting details?
At the airship display, nothing else eye-catching.
Okay. How about the bookshelf? What kind of books are these?
A whole bunch of random books. 3 books in particular catch your eye. There's one called Classical Cacophonies, which has a collection of sheet music for cello and violin. There's one titled Bootlegging in the West, Prohibition and Providence. And then there's one called A Brief History of Mysticism and Ancient Egypt.
Those all sound really important. Those all are connected to the characters. First, Cacophonies.
Cacophonies. Okay, so a whole bunch of just sheet music. So there's Vivaldi's Spring, Pachelbel's Canon, Bach's Cello Suite No. 1, and Debussy's Clair de Lune are a handful of the ones that you recognize.
When did Debussy write Clair de Lune?
You know, I don't know.
Not that it matters.
1905.
Oh, you got it, baby.
Oh yeah.
You knew that. Okay. Interesting. So, Cyan does have a very intriguing cello. It'd be interesting if one of these songs potentially could unlock something or cause something to happen. I have no reason to pick any of these, but I know the book is here. How about bootlegging? What do I learn?
Okay, so basically you learn that bootlegging is still illegal as it's still prohibition, but that plenty of moonshine trails crisscross Northern California and Oregon. In fact, the Moonshine Express is on one of those old trails. The penalty for smuggling alcohol is still a huge fine and a revocation of your license for anything, really. So like airship license, train conductor license, selling merchant license, etc. So
I see.
Thus.
Okay, well, I happen to know that Captain Edgeware is smuggling, or has smuggled, illegal moonshine, so something to consider. This last book about mysticism and Egypt, can I learn more about the pharaoh Merikari? Okay,
so you flip through it, and you see Merikari's name mentioned once, and I'll read you the paragraph. Numens were divine creatures said to make deals with mortals in exchange for power. These Numens had powers over certain realms much like the traditional gods of Anubis or Set. Legends containing the Numens frequently end in tragedy. The most famous legend tells of the pharaoh Merikari, who made a deal with the Numen of nightmares. He embarked on a number of quests and was given power over death as a result. However, he was unable to complete all the quests, and thus the Numen handed him over to Anubis to take his soul.
Whoa. I believe that Genevieve made reference to a Newman. Interesting. Well, that doesn't feel immediately applicable, but that's very fascinating. What else have I not looked at yet on this deck?
You've seen the pneumatic air tube system. There's a parachute in a display case.
Okay. Could I try to do what I sort of tried to do in the cockpit and see if I can catch whatever things are zipping through the tubes here? You said there were some strange mechanisms.
Yes, so it looks like there is a hatch that is screwed into place. What it does, you're not an air pneumatic mechanic, but it looks like you could pull that off the tube if you could find a screwdriver.
Hey Harley, have you seen a screwdriver?
A screwdriver? Well, screwdriver. What an odd sounding name. Pretty funny if you ask me.
Funnier than a what?
Funnier than a dandelion on Christmas.
All right, sir.
I don't rightly know. I haven't seen one, but if I had to guess, well, the porter's the handyman. He might have one.
That makes sense. He has been trying to fix stuff. Interesting. Guess where I want to go back to? The cargo hold.
The cargo hold. Okay. You go back to the cargo hold. It is still there.
Hooray.
And in one piece.
Hey, that clock, I want to turn it to 9:12.
Ding, 9:12. A shorter little flag spikes up.
Does it look like there needs to be 3 or 4 of these?
It looks like there is one more.
One more. Oh, okay. Can I see the hatch in here that leads to the hold?
Mm-hmm. It's hard to notice unless you know what you're looking for, but you do see a square-ish outline on the ceiling.
Are the boxes organized in such a way that I could climb up and get to it?
You know, they are.
Now, I can't really justify why this is actually necessary to solve the murder of Harley, but it feels important, so there I'll go.
Okay. You push open the hatch, and it's a little dim. Your eyes take a little bit just to the lights, but you see a thin hallway that's kind of curved because on one side is the balloon and the other side is the hull of the ship. It's lit by hanging electrical lights. The floor is actually wet and there's a slight acidic smell. You feel a little bit lightheaded. It's pretty sparse. As you go walk along, you find two things. You find 2 hatches, and then you find a parachute tangled up in some rope.
Can I untangle that real quick? I know I'm getting lightheaded.
Yep, you can. It's untangled now.
Hooray. Okay, I am going to add that to my collection of 1 to make it 2.
Okay.
I want to get out. I want to go back down into the cargo.
Okay, cool. There are 2 hatches, by the way. Sorry.
But I thought the other one goes to...
So there was 3 total, 2 that you found.
Oh, sorry. I guess I just assumed that hatch led to the cockpit. But good point.
Well, let me check.
Harley sticks his head through the hatch.
One of them does.
Thanks, man. All right, well, let's go to the one that isn't that.
Well,
Strange. Okay, so you see the second hatch. It's put into the floorboards, and it would have been hard to see without the liquid around it kind of seeping in. It outlines it very nicely. But you don't see any keyhole or a handle, but you do see a little number lock. It says above the little number lock, stir the colors and listen for this number.
Stir the colors? Man.
that sounds mighty familiar if you ask me.
Yeah, you're telling
Too bad
me.
I'm a ghost with no brain, so...
Don't sell yourself short, Harley. You're the leader. You're the head of this investigation.
Aw, shucks.
Let's go back to the cargo hold.
Okay. You clamber down, glad to be out of the headiness of the airship shell. Okay, so you're back in the cargo hold.
After having done all that climbing and crawling, I'm a bit hungry, so I pull out my fistful of crackers, and I start
fistful of
nibbling on
crackers.
some of them.
The newest spaghetti western from Clint Eastwood.
Ooh, sounds good. But yeah, no, I'm gonna start nibbling on those. And then, does Sheila see me?
Cracker! She'll want a cracker!
Oh, that's right. I go over to Sheila and give Sheila a cracker.
Cracker!
Okay, she devours the cracker, tips her hat to you,
How?
and
What? How?
she reaches up with her foot and then
Wow.
bends down, tips it. Very well trained.
How does
parrot.
that monocle stay on?
You know, folks, the world may never know. But as you give her a cracker, she turns to you and says,
I know who you are! I know who you are! Look out!
Harley, is this familiar? Did you hear these words before?
Well, I'll be a three-legged chicken. That does sound familiar. Man, it's coming back to me. I'm by the crate. Oh, I hear a voice mumbling something, and then that parrot. Look out! Man.
I do instinctively look behind me. At this moment, am I okay?
You're okay.
Okay. But But Sheila didn't say, I know you to you? Or is Sheila saying that to who she saw kill you?
I don't remember the parrot saying that, so I assume it must have been whoever hit me.
Sheila, what did you see?
Rah!
The parrot does not respond to that, just keeps on squawking away.
Okay.
I know who you are. Rah! I know who you are.
Okay. Ah, man. Interesting. Harley, we've unlocked maybe 2 memories here. You know something about working for the mayor, right?
Something about that. The mayor sounds awfully familiar. I can't quite tell why.
Now, see if any of this rings any bells. The mayor pays for your ticket. You, having recently lost your job at the mine because the mine is closing, the mayor asks you to watch special cargo. You go in this room to check on said cargo. Any of this sound familiar to you?
Yeah, that does sound mighty familiar, especially I can feel a strong emotional attachment to the mine closing down. Not necessarily sadness.
Interesting. Were you happy to see it go down? How was it as a place to work? Was it as bad as most mines that I know of?
I don't know. I can't recall.
Do you have any inklings of what might jog your memory? What might help you remember more?
Oh, gosh. It's times like this why I surely wish I could drink, but alas, being a ghost, I cannot.
You know, well, maybe we need to do just that. Maybe let's head back to the bartender. So I'd like to go back there and, with the knowledge of the lock saying mix the colors and listen for the number.
Mix the colors and listen for the number.
You know, I don't have a green one yet, but I do have enough to mix Miss Evans, purple, red, and blue, right?
Yes, you do.
So I don't remember what those ones are. Can I mix those together?
Yes, purple, red, and blue, that is grape juice base with a maraschino cherry and sparkling water. So,
not bad.
Harley mixed that up.
Wow, maybe I was a bartender too. This feels great.
Oh man, the world didn't deserve Harley. What a guy. I take that drink and I hold it up to my ear. Do I hear any numbers?
You hear some fizzing, but no numbers. This doesn't quite seem the right place to listen to something.
Maybe I need to talk to Cyan Evans again. Where's she at?
She is now back on the deck.
I'm going to go back to Cyan.
Okay. You find Miss Cyan Evans kind of on the deck. She has a drink in her hand and says, "Oh, Doctor, nice of you to join me. I'm feeling a little faint. Why don't we retire to my room?" She leads you back to her cabin.
I trade out her drink for the drink that is hers.
My favorite. How'd you know?
I am a paranormal investigator, so I know things that no one else could know.
Oh, that's you are delightful. Would you like to perform at one of my parties?
You know, that also sounds delightful. So we go to her room.
Follow me. Yep. So you go to her room, and so it's much like yours, except a little more lush. It seems like whether through normal means or money, she has acquired an upgraded suite. So there's a velvet bed, which has 3 more inches of space on either side. Velvet curtains in front of the window. And a little fancy lamp as well. You also see her cello case tucked under the bed, and her purse is leaning against the lamp. So she gestures to a small chair that did not come standard in yours, so you're a little jealous. But you assume it's for cello practicing.
I sit down and I say, a murder and then venomous snake bites to 2 other passengers. Do you think that this could be the curse that Madame Christie speaks of?
Oh, the curse. I'll tell you, Doctor, I did not believe in that hogwash before this trip, but now I'm not so sure. It's just so aggravating, so tiring. She lays down, like, presses a hand to her forehead very dramatically.
Miss Evans, I have a few questions to ask you, starting with, I hear that the mine that your father owned was going to close down. Why was that occurring?
Oh, horrible business. She sits back up. Where did you hear that from?
Oh, I assumed it was common knowledge.
Well, be that as it may, but it's still private business.
So, is it still a touchy subject?
Quite. None of our fault either.
Whose fault was it?
Well, if you must know, it was that dirty, rotten scoundrel, Mayor Henry Shoemaker, sticking his fat nose into everyone else's business.
I gasp at such slanderous words laid at the feet of the Honorable Mayor Shoemaker. You cannot. Then I regain composure and I say, continue.
Well, he's the one who put forth the legislation shutting down the mine, wanted to improve the image of our little town as not just a mining ho-dunk-po-dunk town, but as a tourist attraction of sorts. That's part of the reason you hopped down to San Francisco to pull up that old dead guy. I will say this. Was a fan of music, though. Nice taste. Came to a couple of my concerts, and always had an ear for classical pieces. He played piano. That doesn't make him any less of a two-timing thief.
Did the mayor frequently ride on the Moonshine Express?
I've only seen him here the one time.
And that was the last voyage?
Yes. Kept mostly to his room.
Which room was that?
One, see. So you're in the farthest on the left, right across from mine.
So not where I'm staying.
Farthest on the right.
Who is staying there now?
You haven't opened that door.
I know, but I'm asking her. Who's staying there now?
Okay. I believe that's Harley's room.
Oh, of course. I need to look at Harley's room. Interesting. Cyan, you invited me into your room. Was there anything that you wanted to tell me, or just wanted a friendly chat?
Oh, just a friendly chat. Any other questions you have for me?
Nope.
Oh, right. I believe I need another drink, so if you don't mind me. She stands up and ushers you out of her room, locks it behind you, and goes into the dining car.
Except she doesn't, because I flip open the pocket, the compass. I flip open the compass, and I rummage through her purse for evidence, for evidence purposes.
They say you can tell a lot about a woman by what's in her purse. But something tells me that was your intention. Okay, so inside the purse, which is by the lamp, so you nearly trip over the cello case, but inside the purse is a theater ticket with the show called The Phantom Bell Ringer, if you wanted to know the title.
Okay. I unpause time.
Okay.
I repause time. Is that how this works? Does that work?
You can. After about 10 seconds, the redness starts to seep in.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, is that the only thing of interest from the? Is that the only thing I get from the purse?
First, yes, that's the only thing of interest in the purse.
Okay. Well then, I unpause time, and on the way out, I ask Cyan, your cello case here, is it as intricate as your cello is?
Oh, just some old bits and bobs. That's where I keep all my fiddling things. Tinkering things, excuse me.
And what kind of tinkering do you do? Do you ever tinker for... You would never for the mayor, right?
That man is horrendous. I would never.
Okay. I look into the case while talking, trying to do it respectfully. Anything interesting in there?
So you can see there's a bent cello string. There's also a collection of small clockwork creatures. It does seem like she's quite the tinkerer. So.
Oh, that's cool. Do the clockwork creatures have clocks on them?
They don't.
Oh, is that sad? If you would be so kind, there are actually a few musical requests. I have never heard someone quite so amazing as you.
Oh, too kind.
I was wondering, could you play these? And I list off all the ones from the book.
Oh, my dear doctor, if only we had enough time on this lovely trip of ours.
Oh, that's true. We only have like 2 hours, so I should probably know why I'm asking her to play something rather than brute forcing it.
Vivaldi Spring is a very long movement. I believe it's 30 or so minutes. All the cello people, sorry if I got that wrong.
Is it even for cello, that piece?
I know. I went and saw it. So all the pieces are from a cello quartet concert I saw in London. So I know that you can play it.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, I guess I didn't actually have many actionable things to do with Cyan, but she did remind me that I haven't seen Hastings' room yet. I'm in Harley. I mean Hastings? Which one is it? It's Harley.
You haven't seen Harley's, and you haven't seen Madame Christie's or Mooney's.
Mm-hmm. Or Mooney's. Yes, but I feel like the room of the deceased is important, so let's, after she lets me out, locks her door,
Okay.
I'll go over to Harley's, and I assume I can unlock his door.
So you go in, again, pretty Spartan, just like yours. What you do notice is different is there is a teapot half spilled on the ground. There is a card next to it. There is a newspaper clipping, a small ticket stub, and another scrap of paper by the bed.
Harley, you said you remember drinking something.
Well, I do. And I remember that teapot. I don't like it.
I would be surprised if you did like it, considering your current state of affairs. It can only have been a bad thing in that pot. But I would love some more information. Do you think you were poisoned?
Well, I don't know, but I could check.
How could you check?
Well, that's what that bartender guy analyzes.
You're right. Aw, you're so smart, Harley.
Why, thanks. I think that's the first compliment I've received in a long time.
Okay, that is an excellent idea. Let's do that.
Okay.
While we're in here, though, scrap of paper.
Yes, so there are two of them. There's a card, a ticket stub, and a scrap of paper.
Is this ticket stub toward the Phantom Bell Ringer?
It is. It is a theater ticket for the Phantom Bell Ringer. It's a box seat, in fact.
Which is good.
Yes.
He could not have afforded that on his own.
On minor salary, probably not.
Probably not. I mean, and considering Cyan's presence, the fact that she has a ticket, it's got to be a pretty swanky arrangement. Okay, how about that card?
Card says benefits of the staff.
Benefits of the staff.
Mm-hmm.
As in, it was given to him by the captain or Mooney, or at least under the guise of such, the teapot.
Sounds like it. And then the other scrap of paper.
Yeah, I want to look at that.
That is a copy of a check. The name is unreadable, illegible, but the sum is not. $4,026.
Harley, how is that a lot of money? Do you remember this?
Oh, gee whiz! Ain't that a pretty number?
It is pretty nice.
Whew.
Do you remember this? Were you gonna cash this in?
No, it looks like a copy. It's already been written. This is just the back half of it. This ain't worth much, fortunately.
What do you mean the back half?
So when you write a check, you got the check, the part you write on, and then you have an imprint on the back side you keep for records. This seems to be the record.
I see. So do you think that you got paid this, or you paid it out to someone else?
Well, if I have the record, I suppose I must have paid it.
Oh my gosh. So you weren't just loaded, you were the benefactor. You would pay other people with your money.
Oh, wow.
That honestly should not... I said that in a weird way. Not only did you have money, you spent it. That's ridiculous.
Imagine that.
Okay. What else was there?
That's it. The newspaper clipping, sorry.
Yeah, I want to look at that.
The newspaper clipping reads the following headline. Moonshine Manor burns down in horrendous fire. It describes how a fire destroyed Mayor Shoemaker's manor.
What?
But luckily the mayor managed to escape in time. The cause is unknown, though it is suspected to be foul play. Thus.
Oh my gosh. I thought he was made. Maybe he still is, but that's crazy. Arson. And also, this was... Wow. First of all, Harley, why do you have this clipping?
Well, that sounds like a tragedy. That is strange.
If you were hired by the mayor, why would you get a clipping that talks about him? You would be able to hear from him if he was like truly your employer.
Oh, this is shaking me mightily. He shivers. I don't even have goosebumps. Man, something strange going on here. Well, you're the detective.
And this room was where Mayor Shoemaker was. So...
That's what Cyan said.
I want to tap the floorboards, look at the ceiling. He seems like a crafty fellow. I guess I don't know that for sure, but anything going on in this room?
Nothing hidden that you can see or
Okay.
find. Sorry, nothing hidden.
That's okay. Lean into those chills, Harley. We got to figure this out. Let's go back to the bartender.
All right.
So you go back in the dining car. Cyan is sitting at the piano, fiddling with the little box hanging from the ceiling. Pneumatic tube systems still going on the fritz, and Mooney is out on the deck. So you go up to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Harley swoops into the automaton, comes to life.
Whew! Man, I'll never get used to the feeling of having cogs.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Here's some tea.
Whoa! Whew. He takes it, brings it into his chest area, and
Analyzing! Whoa! Ding! This here, yep, that's poisoned.
Remarkable.
surprise!
Incredible. What kind of poison?
Just seems like a mild dose of nightshade, just a little bit. Not too much. Mostly tea. Huh. And a lot
Okay.
of laxatives.
Oh. How was that body doing?
Well, I feel fine now, fit as a fiddle.
Yeesh. Yeah, you don't have anything too laxative at this point. Interesting. Can I see what Cyan is working on? Is she working on the player piano?
No, she's working at it's this little
A box on the
box
ceiling.
with the lens, right?
Like a projector.
Projector, more like an old-timey camera.
Okay.
I were to say. She's tinkering with it. As you come up to her, she's like, oh, poor thing's broken. And Mooney's useless, so figured I'd give it a shot. You can see like the exposed wires going up to the ceiling. It does seem to be flickering a little bit, but thus.
Okay. Is there any immediately apparent way to interact with this?
Well, you could try slooping Harley into it and see what happens. It is a mechanical device.
I didn't realize he can possess all mechanical devices. That sounds rad. Let's have him possess it.
Whew! He hops in, and the camera immediately starts sparking. So he yelps,
Ah!
and hops back out.
Man, it's hotter in there than Hades. in summer.
Thank you. You saved it. You saved it. That was excellent.
Caught a couple glimpses of things, but couldn't stay in there too long. Well, let me tell you what I saw.
So he describes 3 little photos that it seems the camera has taken at one point. One is of Raymond standing up during a cello performance. You can see Cyan performing, the other 2, Mooney and Madame Christie, and then Raymond standing up. If you look really close, or if Harley looks really close, he describes a shadowy figure in the back, which you assume is you. One of Mooney heading to some cabins, to the sleeping quarters with a tray of drinks, and one of someone's sleeve.
Cyan, whose camera was this?
Oh, this is the airships. It's accustomed to start and end every journey with a snapshot so you can remember. It hooks right into the whole main system. Pull this chain and flash. Got a snapshot. Pretty magical, honestly. We can only get it to work.
Is the thing that you pull connected to this camera?
Yes.
And does the camera stay in this room?
Yes, it is stationary.
Now, the second one was... Say that again?
Mooney with a tray of drinks opening the door to the sleeping car.
Did Harley see a teapot on there?
You know, I think I did.
Curious. And that last one, whose sleeve was it? What color was the sleeve?
The sleeve was blue.
Blue.
And it
like
happens to match.
Cyan blue?
Like cyan blue. It does look like it's her sleeve.
Was this... these don't have time codes,
they don't.
Right?
No.
So that might mean nothing. It might just be her fixing it right now?
Yeah, it could very well be as she's fiddling with it.
Okay. I think I would like to go on the deck and talk to Mooney.